uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm
The second coming.
into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswati. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Go be from Georgia, be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be lucky, luckiest. No matter why you're lucky. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Senya God the apple boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Point of View, coming to you live from our studio here in the Crown. The Point of View, we bring you the right guests, the right topic, and the conversations that matter to you. Tonight, we discuss the Akwatia by-election. As you're aware, on Tuesday, the people in the Akwatia constituency went to the polls to elect a new member of parliament, coming on the back of the demise of the incumbent member of parliament for the area, Eneskumi. The NDC's candidate, Bernard Bediako, lawyer, was elected as the new member of parliament for the Akwatia constituency. The MPP contested in that particular election. They raised a number of issues, but then the Electoral Commission declared the NDC parliamentary candidate as the new member of parliament for the area. Tonight, the conversation is on the Akwatia by-election. What was it that made it for the NDC to win the seat, a seat formerly held by the New Patriotic Party? And what caused the MPP's defeat tonight? We'll discuss and have a conversation on it. But then before I introduce my guest, let's go on Zoom and speak to the newly elected member of parliament for the Akwatia constituency, Bernard Bediako, for a short conversation before I introduce my guest who will help me with today's conversation. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure it's right if I say congratulations to you, Bernard. Hello, Bernard. Can you hear me? Shortly, we'll go on Zoom and speak to the newly elected member of parliament for the Akwatia constituency. If you are on Tuesday, there was a polls there. The people of Akwatia decided to vote for the NDC's candidates. In fact, 3 candidates were on the ballot for the election. The MPP's Solomon Kwame Sumedu, and then the NDC's Bernard Bediako, and the LPG's Patrick Owusu. But at the end of the day, the NDC's candidate Bernard Bediako won, representing the people of the Akwatia constituency in the parliament of the Republic of Ghana. But whilst we try to get him on Zoom, let me introduce my guest who also helped me with today's conversation aside Bernard Bediako. Dr. Pagri Bache Dankwa, a former government spokesperson under the Akufo-Addo administration. Osman Ayarega, Deputy National Youth Organizer of the governing National Democratic Congress. And on Zoom will be Dr. Abdul Jalil Atieku, political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. This gentleman will help me with the conversation tonight on the Akwatia by-elections and matters arising. Let's come to the studio whilst my producers work on the line to get Bernard Bediako so we speak to him on Zoom. Osman, I'll start with you. It'd be right if I say congratulations.
Thank you very much. I like the way you pronounce my name. You pronounce it as though you're from Boko. Especially they said that very few people try to, for want of a better word, brothelize it. But you pronounce it like, okay. Well, I'm also your friend, so thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to thank the good people of Akwatia, thank the Almighty God for His mercies and His blessings all through this election period, because we find ourselves during a time of some misfortunes, accidents here and there. So traversing the road in and out of Akwatia, one shouldn't take it as of right, but we should take it as a blessing. So I want to thank the Almighty God that we all went through the roads in and out of Akwatia and we didn't hear any mishap or any misfortune. And secondly, thank the good people of Akwatia constituency for speaking to what is right, keeping to their word, and staying through to what they assured us they were going to do. So for us in the NDC, the win by lawyer Bernard Bediako didn't come
Talking
as a
about
surprise.
lawyer Bernard Bediako, I'm told he's back on Zoom. Let me just finish with him and then I'll let you continue with your submission. Council, if you can hear me, thank you very much for your time again. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Well, I know you went to this election expecting a victory, but the margin, was it something you were expecting? We seem to have some technical challenges with Bernard Bediako's connection. I'm sure my producers will still work the lines and get him so we can have a conversation with him. Osman, let me continue.
Yes, so clearly so many factors played into this by-elections. First and foremost, we're going into a constituency that was previously held by the MPP, and unfortunately, the MP, who is also my former MP or late MP, who is my very good friend, passed on, and we had to go into the by-election. Honestly speaking, that wasn't a really good grounds for the NDC at the time of the by-election, because looking at the entire optics, because there was already a case in court and the MP lost his life, so there was so much propaganda out there. And when we got to the grounds, we received very hostile appearances, because the MPP had sunk down a very huge propaganda about the fact that, well, it's the court case that caused the demise and it was stress that caused the demise. You know, they wanted to eat into some sympathy votes at the time. So by the time we got to Akwatia, it didn't look as though the NDC was going to win the elections if elections were held on that day. But we had to work and continue working to make sure we turn all those hostile votes into our votes. So it took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of planning. It took a lot of strategy. And it took a lot of goodwill from the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Because, of course, the good people of this country are experiencing the reset agenda of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So invariably, it reflected in what happened in Akwatia, because the good people of Akwatia are experiencing the reduction of prices of goods and services from January to at least the last 2 months or so. So they are all experiencing.
So this was a score on the achievements of the current administration.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you continue. I'm told Bernard Bediako's line is a bit better now. Let's try again for the last time if we can speak to him. Council, thank you very much for your time again. Hope this time around you stay.
Thank you.
Sure.
I hope so too.
I know you were expecting to win, but were you surprised with the margin?
Not really. I mean, our target was around the same figure, the 53, 54. And so it was expected. I mean, I wasn't surprised at all.
What worked for you?
Well, the message and the strategy. I mean, we had a clear message. Good evening to your viewers. Let me first apologize for the inconsistency in the network. I mean, whatever. So I'm grateful for the opportunity.
You said
that for the opportunity given me. Yes, I won the elections purely based on the message that the party and my good self put before the constituents. That won the day, and I am grateful to. I've seen Comrade Osman, who did marvelous because he joined me. We met several groups and it was very marvelous. And the message was simple. We had two straight messages. First and foremost, the personalities involved, myself and my brother. If you look at both of us, if you put both of us on the banner and you look at our capabilities. First, if you need an MP, you should be sure who can be able to advocate well for you. Advocacy includes lobbying. And so you should be a good communicator. You should be able to you should be able to lobby for what you think is right or good for your people and all that. The second thing I also place in terms of priorities in choosing who my MP would be is the connection. You may be a good communicator, but you should also have the connection. And the connection here essentially is the fact that our government is in power. And so after you've lobbied, you've advocated, you should also have that power to be able to bring things down. And the government of the day, barely 7 months in office, is John Dramani Mahama's government. And so we told the people that, look, if you need development, we run an executive presidency in this country. Every power is wielded to the president. And so if you need it, it is best you go for somebody who is close to him. Beyond that, most of these sector ministers are also MPs. And once I'm elected, I'm in caucus with them. So you wouldn't even have to suffer much to get what you want, rather than going for somebody who is relatively unknown to the power, the corridors of power. That would not help the people of Akwatia. Neither would they help the country as a whole. In any case, MPP has around 87 members of parliament. If they got this, it would be 88. What would they do with it? But NDC, of course, we have supermajority, but if we get an extra, we will still be able to have overly supermajority, so that in case you have some sector ministers who, for one reason or the other, who also doubles as MPs, if they find themselves out of the jurisdiction for one or two reasons, we will still have the numbers to conduct government business. So we need it more than they do. And so this message sank well with the people of Akwatia. Contrary, or conversely, the other side was banging their hopes on sympathy. The people said, we've heard you, but sympathy will not give us food on our table. Sympathy will not fix our roots. So that's what worked. Our message really sank. Well, and we won the day.
Finally, before I let you go, what are some of your topmost priorities? Just give me two of them, because I was in Akwatia myself. I spoke to some of the residents. They have quite a number of issues they want you as an MP, elect to address. Give me two. Give me two of these priorities.
How about that? Jobs. Our youth needs jobs. They need to be gainfully employed. They need to earn a living. Jobs, and then infrastructure. Our road network bad. Osman even discussed this with me. I mean that, hey, you need better routes. You see, and so jobs in the sense that, you see, we've always had GCD, the Ghana Consolidated Bank, which used to employ thousands of our people. Unfortunately, it's gone down for a while now. But we are trying to work something out to bring it back. They were even without electric power. They were in darkness prior to the election of 2024. But John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, has been able to restore the power, and they are now doing quite well in that regard. The next step is to fix the company back on track so that a lot more youth could be employed. That is being done. And hopefully, conducted this election the way it went, all is set for further engagement to have the company back on track. so that our youth will be gainfully employed. That Akwatia would continue being the Akwatia we've always known. Beyond that, our infrastructure, as I've always said, is also there. We need to fix it. And we've started, you saw a number of projects ongoing. So we are working on a few others. We are talking to sector ministers to make sure that Akwatia gets its fair share of the national cake in terms of infrastructure.
Bernard, I'll say a big thank you for your time. Bernard Bediako is the newly elected member of parliament for the Akwatia constituency. Elections were held on Tuesday, and the people in that constituency decided to elect him as their new member of parliament, replacing the late Ernest Kumi, who was member of parliament until his sudden demise some few months ago, sharing his vision and his thought as far as the election is concerned. I come back to the studio. Gentlemen, Osman, you're making your final point, your point before I had to rudely interrupt to go and speak to.
So I think
Bernard.
what I was also, the point I was also making had to do with the message and the fact that Ghanaians are already experiencing the reset agenda of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So this by-election is a further endorsement of that belief and trust in the reset agenda.
Okay.
Because we all know that Akwatia is not really the stronghold of the NDC party. It has been won by the NDC party before. So this election just further reaffirms that the country is moving the right direction and the reset agenda of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is on course. And believe you me, I'm not praying for any more by-elections.
But if there's any by-election,
I can assure you that the NDC will win any by-elections at any point in time.
I hear you.
So whereas John Dramani Mahama and the reset agenda is on course, you can, even if it's at Malaysia,
I hear you.
we'll still win
Even in
Malaysia,
Malaysia,
we'll win the next by-election. I'm not hoping for someone to die though, so please let's not say that I want an MP.
I hear you.
An MP can resign.
I hear you. I hear you. Ochibebi has come out. He has come out to apologize.
No, he should try and resign.
He has come out to apologize. He has come out to apologize. I'll go on Zoom again and then I'll speak to Dr. Abdul Jalilu Atieku, a political science lecturer with the University of Ghana. Take his initial comment before I come in studio again to speak to Dr. Pawuda Wache Dankwa. Doc, thank you very much for your time. Your initial thought about the Akwatia by-election?
Right. Thank you very much, and good evening to the viewers and listeners. Yes, in fact, before the Akwatia by-election, we had the 19 polling stations relevant in Ablikumanov, and we saw what happened, especially in relation to election violence. So our concerns were that how, if 19 polling stations, police could not manage it in such a way that we will be able to avoid election violence, then going into Akwatia, right, what was going to happen, right? So it means that we went to Akwatia against the background of, election-related violence that we have experienced in that constituency. And I think that in all, I think that the police did very well, right? In fact, in the lead up to the election, they had interactions with the stakeholders, political parties, and then rolled out how they were going to ensure that there will be security in the area. So to a very large extent, I think that the police have done well. There were some pockets of tensions here and there, right? But I think that did not mar the outcome of the elections. And I think that I have said since I think yesterday that I'm looking forward to a point where we will have elections and not thinking about the police like going to man to ensure security and what have you. I'm looking to a point where we'll get to where citizens, voters can go to the polling stations, vote peacefully, and go home without any issues at all. I think that we have the capacity to be able to do that. So when we still experiencing election-related violence, sometimes it also question, how we have come in terms of our democratic governance. So it means that well, we are still doing well, but I think that we still have a lot to do moving forward.
Okay, Doc, thank you very much. We'll come back to you, so just stay on the line. Paris, I come to you. Initial thoughts, Akwatia? Surprised your party lost?
I'm surprised we lost, and losing is no good. losing is no good at all. Sammy, let me greet your viewing public and greet my dear brother Osman and my colleague on Zoom. We shouldn't have lost this election. This was an election for us to win, but we are rebuilding our party. And so every fall reminds us as a political party that we need to take very seriously our rebuilding efforts. I congratulate the NDC MP-elect. I wish him well in Parliament. I pray that he's able to bring the development that the constituency need. And I would commend the Ghana Police Service and also commend the Electoral Commission and ask our political party to do a post-mortem, an honest introspection of what really went wrong during this by-election. Could we have looked at the 2016 primaries that our party held that had Amase and a few others standing? Could we look at the 2020 election that had Amase and Ernest Kumi himself also standing, that Ernest Kumi beat Amase by about 4 votes? Could we have looked at the 2024 primaries that took Ernest Kumi to Parliament? Why didn't the party have Amase as the candidate, but rather have a treasurer in the constituency who is also a local gentleman to be the candidate?
But the party said there was an agreement to have
absolutely.
Go
Absolutely. But I mean, I'm just trying to help my political party.
It looks like you know the reason, or have a semblance of reasons why.
I have concerns and I have thoughts.
Okay.
And I want to share them very clearly for my political party to know that we need to build our political party beyond a particular individual. We need to build our political party on the values that has brought us to where we are today, so our party can be attractive, so we can be ready to walk into Jubilee House 2029, 7th of January. And so all those steps that are needed to be taken must be looked at. But I mean, it's a good fight. The NDC has appreciated in the constituency from the results that we saw from the 2024 December elections. We have declined quite significantly. And so we are going to do a proper postmortem and advise the political party in the right directions as we prepare for our flag bearership election.
Paris, thank you. You're still watching The Point of View, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Tonight, we're looking at the Akwatia by-election that took place on Tuesday. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm
the second coming.
Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswati. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From not the pure cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be that luckiest.
God, Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Point of View, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. The Point of View tonight is discussing the Akwatia by-election on Tuesday. Constituency in that constituency, which is Akwatia constituency, went to elect a new member of parliament. The outcome is that Bernard Bediako is the new member of parliament for the constituency, taking over from the late Ernest Kumi. The reason why there had to be a by-election in that constituency. Let's go on Zoom again and resume this segment with Dr. Abdul Jaluli Atieku, political science lecturer with the University of Ghana. Doc, there are many who have said that this defeat is a heavy blow for the MPP, and have even described that the MPP is on the verge of collapse. You agree with those making these arguments?
All right. Yes, what I would say is that the fact is that MPP has not, recovered from their 2024 defeat, right? Because, if you look at the election victory of the NDC in 2024, very massive, right? So, and the MPP will need to put their party in order, right? Address key issues, the differences, and what have you, right? In my view, they are yet to do that, even though as a party, they have conducted or, sent the fact-finding mission to find out why they lost and all that. And I think that it will take time for them to implement some of the decisions. So, so this election is just coming, just about 7 or 8 months or so after their defeat. So in my view, they've not organized themselves already. They are experiencing some tension within the party because of the flag bearership elections. So you realize that if you look at all those aspirants who were there, in my view, they were just there because this candidate want to contest, this one also want to contest, everybody is going and they are all going. So no clear strategy. So the strategy perhaps it's coming from the national executive. But if you look at this particular election, so it has, the 2024 election has an impact, because if you look at the whole nation, voted, for the NDC, giving them about 57%. That's very massive, right? So at the time in 2024 election, when Akwatia was voting, no one knew how Ghanaians were going to vote. But this time round, the voters in Akwatia knew or are aware that is the NDC that is in power, right? So if they are looking for development, if the issues have to do with living standards, unemployment situation, and what have you, so it means that people will be looking in towards the NDC rather than the MPP, because within the next 4 years, it is the NDC that has the capacity to be, or that is in position to be able to provide development and what have you. So if you look at it critically, we have various theories in explaining elections, but in my view, 2 of them are critical here. we call one the rational choice theory, right? And then there is also socio-psychological theory of voting, right? So if you look at the rational choice, it means that the people of Akwatia, they will look at these two parties. Who can give us, development? Who can give us, jobs, if it is in the security and what have you. So if you look at all the NDC officials who were in that constituency, the chief of staff was there. He was talking about development, that we are in power, we have the capacity, we are in position to give you A, B, and C. The national chairman of the NDC was also in that constituency, and that was also the same message, right? So all the NDC officials who were there were always preaching that you cannot get development from the MPP. So if you want development, if you want employment and what have you, right, it means that you have to look towards the NDC. You have to vote for the NDC, vote for the NDC's candidate. So if you look at the MPP on the other side, because they do not have the means to be able to roll out development and what have you, so they started pressing the sympathy button long ago, even before going into Akwatia. If you recall, when they decided that they will not go to Tamale Central, they made a statement. They said that because of what had happened, so we'll not go to Tamale Central. So it means that NDC should also not come to Akwatia because of the same sympathy. So they started pressing the sympathy vote. And when they moved into the constituency, the same thing. Look at the 7-week funeral that was performed, right?
The 1 week observation,
in order to elicit, to get some support from the people of Akwatia that this, Ernest-Kumi, who was you voted for, even though there were a number of issues being addressed at the court, but you voted for him and he's no more. So we are giving you this other candidate. So either the voters are going to be rational, looking at the development and other things which NDC that is in position to give, or they will rely on sympathy. So largely, and if you look at the literature, now even, I remember recently, I think about 2-3 months ago, GIMPA conducted some research. And if you look at their data about post-election, post-2024 election, if you look at their data, it's pointing to the fact that Ghanaian voters are becoming more rational. Right? Rather than the socio-psychological factors, like in terms of emotion, sympathy, or those social factors, whether it is religion, whether it is ethnicity and what have you. Ghanaians are becoming more rational in their voting than. So if you give them development, so if you are in a position to give them development, it's most likely. But that doesn't mean that it can affect all other constituencies. Because there are certain constituencies that are very strong. If it's a strong MPP stronghold, and you're going to have a by-election, like the member of parliament who said that he was going to resign, New Juaben, for example, right? That would be difficult for it to be. Or they're very stronghold where people are very strong. Very strong attached to their party, right? The party identification, which is within the socio-psychological theory, right? It is not going to work. But when you have swing constituencies where NDC is likely, where the difference is not that much. In such constituencies, you have by-elections, looking at the situation, the current situation of development, some of the good things that Ghanaians are experiencing over the past 7-6 months in terms of prices and what have you. The stability in the exchange rate and all those kinds of things. So it means that those are most likely to influence voters in voting for
the candidates. Sure. All right.
Sympathy and
all right, Doc. Thank you very much. Pagim, how do you react to those who? The similar question I asked Doc. I asked you too. That your party is gradually losing its relevance.
The new patriotic party cannot collapse. The new patriotic, it's not prophetic. The new patriotic party is not losing its relevance. Ghana is not a totalitarian country where power resides in one political party.
But there are many who have said that this is the biggest defeat
absolutely
a political party has suffered in the Fourth Republic.
Absolutely.
And even the numbers in parliament.
Absolutely. Beyond what many have said, that is what the data is. The data is reflective of the truth that we have lost an election that we have not experienced in this Fourth Republic before. But it is also true to hold that the new patriotic party will bounce back stronger than, because we've done that before. And so we are rebuilding our party. We are in very difficult moments in our party. If you look at the flag bearership election that we are going to do, the party made a decision that we are going to do that flag bearership election first at the top before we come from the polling station. It clearly tells you that we are in a very difficult moment as our party. Our party needs strong leadership from the top.
So the party lacks leadership now?
Our party needs strong leadership at the top.
Okay, and I'm asking that.
In my view.
And I'm asking
in my view, what I would have wished the party had done, and I'll tell you tonight, what I would have wished the party had done after we have lost such an election was to ask all the national executives to step aside and set up a team, a coordinating team to administer leadership over the party. And in administering leadership over the party, administer the flag bearership elections that we are going to have. Then when we have had our flag bearer, the flag bearer now leads the party to do the polling station elections, to the regional elections, to the national election.
Is that not what is being done? The flag bearer election is, is first before the other.
You didn't hear what I said. I said
get an interim management committee.
But that is not what is being done. Okay.
So you mean those leaders now, the current leadership of the party do not merit or have no right to organize the internal election?
That is not what I've said. What I've said is that we have lost an election. And people led
and losing an election merits an overhaul of the entire leadership?
Oh, I think that if you are doing a proper postmortem, if the Mike Okwe committee report had been shared for everyone to see, I think that that would have been a right decision to make. But I mean, I'm not at the helm of affairs of the party. I'm a member of the party. I can share my opinion and my thoughts for the party to take counsel from it, because we are all members of the party. But those would have been my thoughts if I had been asked that how should we restructure this party? You understand? But that is why I'm confident that the only person that can bring unity in this party is Kennedy Japan.
Okay. Osman, the many promises your candidate made to the people of Akwatia. I was in Akwatia to cover the election. Heard of a number of promises that he made. You were also there. Can you fulfill these promises to the people of Akwatia before the next election?
But Sammy, the government is already fulfilling its promises. And I didn't see any different promise that was made beyond the promises that were even stated or put in our 2024 manifesto. What was it? We promised roads. We promised roads in our 2024 manifesto. We promised jobs, which we are already doing. We promised national apprenticeship program, which we are currently doing.
These are national policies.
They are national policies.
We are zeroing it in the constituency.
Yes, it zooms down into the constituency. I was in the constituency. The same promises. It's just about zeroing down into the constituency. He promised roads. John Mahama also promised roads, didn't we? We promised a stable economy. John Mahama also promised a stable economy. So what I'm trying to tell you is that these are doable promises, which we are already doing. And that is why the people of Akwatia actually voted for us. Because they didn't just listen to the promises, but they saw us and they have seen us fulfill our promises and our mandate. And that is why the vote was not just about the promises, but it was a vote of confidence on the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I went around Akwatia. I heard all the problems that they had. And these are all things that are being done. Roads are being constructed, water systems are being done, everything that the candidate
The only
promised.
road being constructed is the road at Chimwenchi, one of the electoral areas, which I was there. That was the only road I saw.
That was what you saw.
Yes, being constructed. I went to other areas. For instance,
but don't forget.
The roads are bad. I was there to cover, the elections there as well. So the only ones I saw when I was in that constituency was in the Achimwenchi one, which we saw, a grader doing what is supposed to be there. And that even, we were told that it was because of the election. That is why the grader had come there to come and do the surfacing on that road.
Sammy, in other constituencies, roads are being done. There's no by-election in other constituencies. Even in Accra, roads are being done. Is there a by-election in Accra? When you go to Tamale, roads are being done. Every constituency, roads are being done. His Excellency has promised that every constituency will be given a certain kilometer of roads to be done in every constituency. And you choose which of the roads should be, should be done. So roads have been done in almost every constituency. The Pokwase Amasama Road is still under construction. The contractor has been paid. Is there a by-election? No. There's no by-election there. So roads have been done everywhere. So it doesn't mean that once there was a by-election in Akwatia, tentatively what it meant was that every development ongoing there must cease. Government work must cease in Akwatia. Everything must come to a standstill. It is not the case. But you see, the NDC party has become the most attractive political brand currently in this country. And I just fear for my brothers in the MPP because soon and very soon we may have to actually close down their party. And he's been prophetic that their party would not die, it would survive. Currently, and if you listen to his remedy to what is actually happening in their party, you will see that clearly what it means is that their party lacks focus, it lacks direction, it lacks leadership, it lacks. Is that not what? Is that not? No, hold on. But is that not what? Is that not what every political party? Strong leadership. He said it lacks strong leadership. Hold on. Is that what you said? Is that not what every political party? What did you say? No, he said it lacks strong leadership. Is that not what every political party goes through after losing an election? In 2016, similar can be said about the NDC when you lost the 2016 election. It came with restructuring. You came back harder in 2024. Absolutely. And so the MPP may be going through the same process. But we went through that same process in a different way. You see, when you're going through a crisis, you tackle the crisis from the root cause of it. You don't tackle it from the top. That's why I'm surprised their approach. That's why I'm saying that I leave it to them. And I'm not surprised he's saying that they lack strong leadership. And he's actually proposing that by this time their leadership should have resigned and put together an interim executive. That he doesn't even trust the current leadership, from their party chairman right down to regional executive to constituency. He doesn't actually trust them. And he doesn't trust.
Don't interpret what I have said. Leave it to me to do my interpretation. Don't interpret what I have said.
You have said it. I am a viewer too.
Don't interpret what I have said, please.
What he's saying
that is not what I mean.
Their party lacks strong leadership.
Don't interpret what I said.
And if you lack strong leadership, what it means is that you lack direction, you lack vision, you lack purpose, you lack focus, and you actually do not know what you want to do with the political party. So I am not surprised the likes of Palgrave are highly disappointed in their party. And let me tell you one thing, in fact, one interesting thing that happened in Akwatia. And when we went around campaigning, some of the good people of Akwatia told us that, well, we are going to vote for you because of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And I was wondering how. They said, oh, once upon a time they saw Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo speak to some fancy chiefs, and he told them that he wasn't giving them development because they didn't vote for his parliamentary candidate. So they are taking a cue from that. And because of that, they understand that in governance, it is good for your president to be there and for a parliamentary candidate to come from that same party. So all their propaganda in Akwatia didn't fly. So when we come back and we tell you that it was all about the message, and it was about the message, and it was about the message, you should understand that going into an election or a by-election, the message is key. That is one. The person, the carrier of the message is equally very important. And the machine carrying the carrier and the message itself is equally very important. So we went in with a strong and attractive party. That's the NDC. And of course, we also went in as a youth of the party with a very strong force. We went in as the Green Army of the NDC. We went in as a very strong force, very attractive wing of the party. Unlike their political party as it stands now, which is currently in comatose. We went in as a strong force, as a Green Army, very attractive. The youth of Akwatia were happy to receive us. So many of the youth out there told us that they wanted to join the NDC just because they had seen the Green Army. It was so attractive to the good people of Akwatia. The message was marvelous. Our candidate was excellent. And of course, our party executives who stormed Akwatia made it exceedingly beautiful. And campaign well as well. And campaign very well. But they, on the other hand, 10 months ago,
the conversation was different.
No, 10 months ago, he was in opposition. You understand? So he should be very careful. With his stance of comfort.
Okay.
10 months ago, he was in opposition.
It's a caution for someone who has been in government before and now
10 months ago, he was in opposition.
I need to pay bills.
His party is dying.
I need to pay bills. You're still watching the point of view, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
Remember who we are seeing now. At risk of prostate enlargement. We a member or her 20 ebitimi prostate cancer. 5 bitimi afamu nadia obefamu.
Actually, this is not my fault.
And to wada, entina midi maniche Executive Prostate Center.
Executive Prostate Center is a unique medical center where we harmonize in-depth traditional medicine with cutting-edge science and technology to cure, to treat, and to prevent diseases like prostate enlargement, prostate cancer.
Executive Prostate Center. Madame facilities no any professional medical care.
Sisi a bibia clear system ni. Ye nro ne so de natural. Into we koso afa ma ye.
Executive Prostate Center. My cured.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm
the second coming.
Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswatie. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go give me the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the pure cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go give me luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be that luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Senya God the apple boom. If you put it toye, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
You're welcome back. You're still watching The Point of View, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Tonight, the conversation is on the Akwatia by-election. We've got a few minutes to wrap up. Let me go on Zoom and take final comment from Doc on this Akwatia by-election. Doc, from your monitoring, you feel the IGP and the security setup did a good job? In just 1 minute, just summarize for me. Hello, Doc. I'm afraid he's not on. Paris, I'll come to you. You feel the IGP and the security setup did a good job because going into that election, a lot of tension on the back of Ablikuma North, and so the expectation was that IGP and his people should do a good job. You think they did?
I think they tried. I mean, Akwatia has had a lot of history over the years, so I think that the presence of over 5,000 police personnel, the vans that they sent in there were clear indication to the constituents that they are there to make sure that we have a peaceful election. I'm glad that there were no incidents that had to happen for anyone to go to the hospital.
But I feel we just saw we saw one the exchange between Chairman Buga.
But they didn't end up at the hospital.
Buga,
no, I mean I'm trying to say we didn't have any incidents.
Buga and
yes, we didn't have an
Azoka.
incident that ended up at the hospital. Okay, I mean at the beginning of the election, I actually commended Chairman Azoka for his conversations with the police, that he's not brought Azoka boys and that the security is in the hand of the police. And then a few minutes later, we saw what happened, which is quite unfortunate. I'm waiting for the NDC political party to bring a statement to tell the Ghanaian people something about what has happened, that maybe they are...
But the MPP has issued a statement. You've seen it, right?
Yeah. You know, so those issues are very unfortunate issues. But I commend the police for what they did. I mean, I think that it was good. Will this be my final comment, or I'll come back again?
This will be your final comment.
Yes, I think that Akwatia has taught the New Patriotic Party a very big lesson. It's taught us that we need a common purpose to win power. I mean, it's power we want. Political parties are set up to win power. It's not a fanfare club. It's not a party club that people come and eat and go. We want power. And so we should learn lessons from Ablekuma North when the party said they were not going to stand after the lady has stood her grounds and went into the election. We learn lessons from Akwatia, and then let's go into the flag bearership election. Candidate points beginning his campaign talk tomorrow.
We are not doing internal MPP.
I'm just giving a notice.
At another platform, I'll give you a opportunity to come and campaign.
I'm just giving
we are talking about Akwatia. Thank you. Osman, you commend the police as well?
To be very honest, I want to commend the police for the great job they did. Yesterday, I was there, and in almost every polling station I went to, I saw heavy security presence. Those in uniform, those not in uniform, those who mingle with the society or the inhabitants to make sure they're able to pick intelligence. And sometimes you get to a polling station and you meet about 100 policemen well armed seated there. So you realize that relatively all the polling stations were peaceful, and I want to commend the police for that. And I also just want to use 5 minutes of the time to speak about the National Youth Conference, which will be taking place tomorrow and Friday. That is 4th and 5th of this month.
A National Youth Conference?
Yes, it's a National Youth Conference organized by the National Youth Authority that brings together representatives from every district, at least 2 representatives from every district across the country. We put the youth together to have a conversation and have various discussions on the youth agenda, what the youth need, what the current government is doing so far as the youth is concerned. We'll be having various plenary discussions. His Excellency will be represented by the Chief of Staff, the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opari Ado, my own boss, will also be there. We'll have various plenary discussions. Dr. Zenato will be there. Honorable John Dumelo will also be there. So we're coming to engage the youth from various sectors of life to see how we can put together various policies that would positively affect the youth. Because at the National Youth Authority, we are in charge of formulating policies and implementing policies. And how best do you put together policies when you do not engage the stakeholders? So we're putting together between 5,000 and 10,000 youth in one space, various discussions, various topics to see how we can put together a document that will champion the youth development, the youth agenda. I want to thank you also for your time, and I wish the opposition well, and for us also.
Osman, thank you.
Akwatia has taught us a lesson also.
You can wrap up from me. I'm told Doc is on the line. Let me get a final word for him before we call it a day. Doc, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so your final comments, the police, you commend the police for a good job done in 30 seconds?
Yeah, I think so, because we criticize the place over Ablekuma, right? So if, in Akwatia, they were able to provide security that were able to conduct the election in a very peaceful manner. We have to just commend them for doing a good job, right? And we hope that we'll be experiencing something like this. But one other thing that I will just ask for is that this is a democratic election. So as Ghanaians, we must always have it at the back of our minds that we go to police stations to vote in a very free, peaceful system. So we should have that culture so that there wouldn't be the need for the police to always be at the various police stations providing security
all the time.
We are going into a war zone.
Okay, all right, Doc, thank you very much. Dr. Abdul Jalilu Atieku, political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. Also in studio, Dr. Pagib Boache Dankwa, a former government spokesperson under the Akufo-Addo administration. Osman Yarega, Deputy National Youth Organizer of the NDC and the CEO of the National Youth Authority. Earlier, you heard Bernard Bediako, the new elected member of parliament for the Akwatia constituency. And that's how we wrap up today's edition of The Point of View that came to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Riafito. We'll come your way again. May the good Lord be with us all.